Hi everyone, welcome back. So I have created a new project, music player, using Tkinter and Python, on which I am going to create a tutorial videos that will be consisting of about 4 to 5 videos. And this is the first one in which we are going to see the front end part and how we are going to code it. So before starting to code, let me show you how it's actually gonna look like. So this is the music player that we are going to build, which have all the buttons. All the pictures that you are seeing here are not actually buttons, but they are icon files, icon images, which I have already created a folder of. And when I will use this images, then I will upload it on my GitHub profile from where you can access all those. So let's start coding. So let's first import tkinter and some other packages as well. Importing tkinter as tk, and we will also import another package, that is ttk themes. From ttk themes import theme tk, and one more from tkinter import ttk. Now the reason I have used ttk themes here is because we are going to use a particular theme from tkinter module. Now in order to use that, we need to download this package using pip install. So you just have to write pip install ttk themes and it will work fine. Now let's create a class of media player, class media player, and for now just make it pass. And here we will initialize if name equals to main. Then we will create a window to initialize the theme tk window, theme tk dot theme tk. It is same as of doing tk.tk. We have seen it in the previous videos. It's just that it includes theme version default one. Now if you want to see all the themes available, you can just print window.get themes. It will print all the available themes. Now let's give a title to our window. So window.title, that will be music player. Then we will give the window size of our music player, window dot max size. Its width is going to be 750 and height will be 550, and the min size will be width equals to 540 and height equals to 550. Now let's create the instance of the class media player, and we will pass the window object window, and now we will run the infinite loop, window dot main loop. Now let's create the init function in the media player class. So we will be doing diff initialize, and it will be accepting window, and we will create a style here. Now why I am creating style here? The reason is, see in this photo the scale that I am using is not the default one. Now to get this type of scale, we need to use ttk one, and now to customize a ttk scale, we need to specify a style parameter here. So here we will be using ttk.style, and we will specify the style theme by doing this style.theme use, and the theme will be breeze. Now let's give a background color to our window. That will be background equals to gray. You can customize as you want. It's just my preference that I'm using gray color. Now style.configure t-scale. This t-scale is what we will be using when we create a scale to customize it to give a background color and everything. So here I will provide it a background color same as that of the window. Background equals to background, and let's get a self.root just a window, so that whenever we create any buttons or any labels, it will be inside the root one. Let's configure this root.configure. It will have background black. Again, you can customize this as you want. Now there are so many icons. As you can see in this picture, there I have used several icons. This repeat one, this next button, this play button, this pause, this volume button. So we need to initialize all these images so that we can actually use that on the buttons. So I will show you just one, and just I will skip, or it will take much time here. So self dot, let's give music image equals to image dot open. Now this image dot open is not being recognized because it is a function of the pillow module, and we have to import that as well. So we have to do from import image tk. Now it will work fine. Now in this image.open, I will give the image name that is present in this image folder, and which is present here is the name of background.jpg. So I will provide the name here, background.jpg, images / background.jpg. Now we need to resize this image as it's very large. So in order to resize, we will do self.music image self.music image.resize, and we will give the size to as 40, 40. It will pass as tuple, and in order to make sure that the quality of image image don't get reduced, we'll be using one property here, image.anti-alias, and then we will create the photo image object, image tk.photoimage. We'll pass the self.image. This same procedure we need to repeat with all the icons that we are seeing in this picture. So I will skip that part. So I have already initialized the icon images here. As you can see, there are many icons here. Self.play icon, pause icon, next icon. It's all done with the same process as I have shown in the music image. So after creating all these icons, now I'm going to create some other objects. Like as you can see in this image, there is a blue border here. It's actually a list box that is going to contain all our songs that we have added from your action menu. So let's create this list box here. For that, we need to do self.songs list equals to tk dot, we have to use list box here, and it will go in the self.root option that we have defined above, and its width is going to be 30 and height as 18, and its background color will be black, and the foreground color will be blue, that is the border color of the list box, and the relief will be flat, and the select background will be gray. Now let's pack this list box, place this list box. So the songs list dot place, and I will place it as 520 and y equals to 60. See, I have already used this coordinate, so I remember this, and it is very possible that these coordinates might not suit on the application that you are creating. So just make some changes in this and you will be good to go. Now after creating this, now let's create the time elapsed label and music duration labels and some other scale widgets. So time duration label is this, and time elapsed label is this. So now we will be creating this too, and then we will be creating the scales. So let's start. So we will do self dot time elapsed label equals to tk dot, it will go into self dot root, and text initially will be 00:00, and foreground will be black, and its background will be background, that is we have specified above, background equals to background, and the active background will also be background equals to background, and the internal padding in the x direction will be I will give 5. Now let's place this as well. Self dot time elapsed label dot place, and it will be x equals to 10 and y equals to 400. Now let's create this music duration label. Self dot music duration label, it will be tk dot label same as 00:00, and it will also have the same properties. Black, and background will be background same as background, and padding in x direction will be also 5. Now place this as well. So the music duration label dot place, x equal to 460, as it will be at its most right position, and y equal to same as that 400. Now let's first run this. Let's see how it's going to look like. So this is how it's going to look like. Here is our start label, and this is the music duration label, and this is the list box. So it's working fine. It's same as this, as you can see. I think the time elapsed label is quite to the right. I think it should be shifted towards left. So let's give it x equals to 5, I think. Now after this we will create the scale here, ttk scale. So we will do this self dot progress scale, and this is will be ttk dot scale, and it will have self dot, and orientation will be horizontal, and the style that we specified above will be used here, as ttk widgets take style as a parameter. So style will be t style. T style is the name that we have given above, and it will start from 0 and it will go till the length will be 380. And now we will provide a command here, that is what the scale is going to do when we use it. So it will execute certain function. So for now I am providing just a string here, so that when we run this program we don't throw an error. So let's say here is command. We will define the function later here. Now after this we will place this progress scale, self dot progress scale dot place, and it will be at x equals to 80 and y equal to 400. Now this command, this progress scale will also have one more parameter, that is cursor. That is, we want that when we take the mouse cursor over the scale, then it should change. Let's say it becomes hand, then we will use the cursor parameter here, cursor equal to hand 2. So now we will create certain buttons like play button, next button, pause one, and some more. So let's create this self dot play button. Other buttons will also be same, just like this. So I will just copy paste the code. Play button equals to tk dot button, it will go inside self dot root, and it will have image that we have defined above, that will be self dot play icon. Here also we have to specify the command. Let's leave it for now, and then there will be cursor equals to hand 2, and the border will be equal to 0. Now the background that it will have will be background that is gray color, so that it just matches with the background and we don't actually see the square button, instead we see the round icon. So background equals to background, and active background will also be equals to background. And the same thing we have to do with all the other buttons too, like next button, previous one, and others. So let's place this first. Self.play button dot place, and it will have x equal to 146 and y equal to 425. Now let's just copy paste the code of self.play button. Let's paste here too. Now let's just change the names. Like for self.play button, we want next one is pause button. No, next button. Self dot. Here we will change. Here next self.next button, and here also we will change the icon, that will be self.next icon, and we have to change the coordinates, that will be x equal to 328 and y coordinates will be 435. Now coming to the previous button, self.previous button, x coordinate for the previous button will be 73, and for y coordinates it will be 435. Now the next button we will have is the stop button. Let's implement that as well. So this video today is the most repetitive one, since we are just designing this, and from the next video onwards we will be doing the actual work, that is implementing the logic behind this music player. Everything is right, just we have to change the x and y coordinates of the stop button. That will be 236 and y will be 425, and then we will have the shuffle button to shuffle the songs. Shuffle, and the x coordinates for the shuffle button will be 10 and y will be 425. Then we will have some more buttons like speaker, repeat, volume scale, autoplay button. So let's implement them as well. Just copy paste this several times, and we have to work after the shuffle button. So after shuffle we will be creating the speaker button, speaker icon, and it will have self.speaker icon as the image, and command, everything will be same, just we have to change the x and y coordinates. X will be 390 and y will be 420, and then after speaker we have the repeat button, and the x coordinates and y coordinates for this will be x equals to 10 and y equals to 470. Now we have one more button, that is self.autoplay button, autoplay, and the x and y coordinates for this will be 420 and 453. One more thing that we are left with is the volume scale. Now after this we will be creating the menu section. Self.volume scale equals to, we will be using ttk.scale, just like the progress bar. We'll start from 0 and we'll go till 100, and we'll have orientation equals to horizontal. The command will be just a simple string for now. It will also have a cursor that will have hand 2. Now let's just place this volume scale dot place, x coordinates equal to 420 and y equals to 425. Now everything is fine. Now as we have already specified the x and y coordinates, now let's check how the program actually looks when we run it. So let's run the program here. So it's actually throwing an error. T style is not found. I think I have written something else instead of T style. Let's see there. So instead of T scale with capital S, I have written here small s. So that was a mistake here. And the same I have to change in the progress scale as well. So let's see where the progress scale is. So here it is T style and we have to give T scale. So let's first check if it all works fine. So as you can see, we have all the widgets here, buttons and the labels and the scales, everything is here. The only thing we need to do now is, as you can see, the background of this button is gray color, and the final application that I have created has a gray label here. So what we need to do is just insert the gray label at the back of all these buttons. So let's create that label so that it don't look just messy. So before all the buttons, we have to create a label. So let's create it here. So we will be creating a gray color label, ttk.label, and it will go inside self.root, and it will have text equals to none, and the background will be the same background that we have specified above, and the height will be 7 and the width will be 120, and we need to place this with x coordinate equal to 5 and y equals to 400. Now let's see if it works fine or not. So now it's working fine. As you see, there's the same background behind these buttons, Now it's not looking any messy. It's quite close with the image that we have here. The only difference is the final application have the status bar below this. So we need to implement this as well. And one more thing that I have missed is this music color label. So let's create the heading, that is music player, right here. So self dot heading equal to tk dot label, and it will also go in self dot root. Background will be black, and it will have text equals to music player, and the font that we need to give is Lucida, and the font size will be 40 and it will be in bold. And the foreground will be one hexadecimal, that is hash F4B81A. And after this we need to place this heading. So we'll be placing it at self.place, self.heading.place, sorry, at x equal to 0 and y equal to 2. And we will be specifying relative width here, that is, as we expand the size of the window, the label should expand as well. So we'll give relative width equal to. Now let's run the code. So yes, it's good and it is same as our image. Now one more thing that we need to give is the background image to this music player. Let's give the background photo of this music player, that will be self dot song photo equal to tk dot label self dot root, and the image will be self dot music image self dot song photo dot place, and it will be at x equal to 80 and y equal to 78. Now run this code. So we have successfully put this music label here, but it's looking very small. So the reason is, I think I have not provided the correct size for this song photo self.music image. So let's check. It's 40,40. So the size for this will be about 370 and 300. Now it will look absolutely fine. So as you can see, it's working really fine, and only thing missing here is the menu bar and the status bar. So let's implement the menu bar here. So we will do self dot menu equals to tk dot menu self dot root. Now we'll do self dot root dot configure menu equals to self dot menu. Now we will need to create individual menu for all the options. So let's get m1 equals to tk dot menu, and it will go inside the self dot menu that we have created above, self dot menu, and it will have the background equals to gray, and tear off will be false. Tear off here means that when we click on the menu, so sometimes it gets out of the screen. So in order to avoid this, we need to specify tear off equals to false, and background will be equals to gray. The border will be 0, and the active background, that when we click on this menu, the color should be black. So here everything is fine. Background equals to gray, border equals to 0, active background equals to black. So let's remove this repeated argument here, since I have already used the background. Now we need to add this m1 to the menu. So we do this by doing this self.menu dot add cascade, and the label will be, that is, the name will be action, and the menu will be m1. So action is the menu item name, and inside the action we need two labels, that is, one is add song and add multiple song. So for that we need to add command in those m1. So we need to do this m1 dot add command, and add command will have the label equals to add song, and the command will be, for now it will just be a simple string, and then image will be self dot add song icon, and compound, that is, the icon should be aligned towards left, so that we will use compound equals to left. And we need to add one more command for multiple song, so m1 dot add command, and for that label will be add multiple songs. We need command equals to simple string for now, and the images will be self dot add multiple song. So we have created one menu here. So now we need to create another menu where we will have delete and delete multiple options in order to remove the song from the list box. So we need to create here m2 tk.menu. So let's copy paste the above items. So from here it will be the same. It will be, and instead of m1 we need to do m2, and here also m2. And the command that we will need to this is the label we need to specify in the m2 dot add command will be delete song, and other will be delete all. So just delete, and here instead of add multiple songs we will have delete all option, and the image will be self dot delete selected, self dot delete icon, and here instead of delete all we will have self dot delete all icon. So now everything is working fine. We have written almost all the codes for the front end part. Now let's see if there is any mistake by running the code. So there is an error, I think, unknown option activate background. So I have made a typo error. I think it's on the line 151. Activate background. It's active background, not activate background. Definitely. Let's run this. One more error is there. That is compound. Compound. Now let's run this again. Definitely one more error since we have copy pasted the code. So COMPOUND. Now I think after doing these changes, it should work fine. Let's run the code again. So this is the front end part. So it looks really fine. It's same as the image that we have seen, that I have shown you earlier. So this was the image. Where is it? Yes, this is. So it's same as this. Just we need to add one status bar below this, and we have action. Yes, we need to change the name of this. Instead of actions, it should be delete. And when we click on this one, then we have the two options: to drop down, add song, and add multiple songs. And in action, it has delete and delete all options. So one more correction that we need to do is just change this action to delete option. So let's do this quick. It should be here, actions here. So it should be delete. Now we need to add the status bar. Let's do this quick. Self.status bar equals to tk.label, and it will go inside the self.root, and it will have text that will have the song that it's playing right now, and it will display the index of the song that it's playing to 0 of 0 for now, and then it will have foreground equals to black, foreground equals to black, and will have anchor equals to west, anchor equals to west, so that it's shifted towards left side. And then we have background equals to gray, and we will also define the font here. So background equals to gray, and the font will be Lucida, and it will have font size will be 9, and it will be bold. Border equals to 5, and relief will be rich. And now we need to place this status bar. Self dot status dot place. It will have x equals to 5 and y equals to 520, and here also we will specify the relative width, so that when we increase the size of the window, then it should expand as well. So relative width equals to 1. Now let's run the code. So yes, it's all finished, our front end part. It has action buttons, delete, play buttons, and everything. Our status bar is also working fine. So our front end part is ready, and I know you all have felt very bored in this video because most of the part was so repetitive. We were copy pasting the same code again and again. But from the next video onwards, we will be actually implementing the functionalities of all the buttons, of how to play the music, how to pause it, and adding the music to the list box and everything. So next videos are going to be very interesting. So that's it for this video. We'll meet in the next one. Bye bye.